Om Amriteshwariyai Namaha. My infinite humble salutations at the lotus feet of my Master, our most beloved Amma, and my salutations to all of you who are a part of today's webcast. Hoping that all of you are in the best of health and spirits amidst this major challenge that the world is facing, the coronavirus pandemic. Amma has been thinking about all of you and constantly tracking the situations in different countries. And her prayers are surely there with each and every one of you. Amma just recorded a message for all her children, and we just received the tapes just before this webcast was to start. So we will be uploading it very soon in the different websites and in the Facebook so that you would be able to hear it from Amma straight. To start today's webcast, as today is Sunday and many of you are having your weekly satsangs, and the chanting of the 108 names is a part of it, we will try to do the same. We will start with the 108 names, and then we'll get into the talk, and we will conclude with a short meditation. I know many of you may want to ask questions, and we have people from all parts of the world today participating. So I will try to take a few questions, but because of the time constraint, I may not be able to take all the questions that come. If you would later want to contact me, you're free to do so. I will just take a few amongst the questions that have arrived, and I'll try to answer them. So let us now start with the 108 names. Those of you who are new to this practice, with each mantra that is chanted, you may repeat the mantra Om Amriteshwariyai Namaha. Imagine that you're offering flower petals from your heart at the lotus feet of the Divine Mother. If Amma is your Guru, you can imagine that you're offering it at Amma's lotus feet or at the lotus feet of your beloved deity. Dhyayamo dhavalavakunthanavatim Tejomayim naishtikim Snitapangavilokinim Bhagavatim Mandasmita Shrimukhim Vatsalyamritavarshinim Sumadhuram Sankirtana Lapinim Shyamangim Madhusikta Suktim Amritanandatmikam Ishwarim. Om Amriteshwariyai Namaha. Om Amriteshwariyai Namaha. Om Amriteshwariyai Namaha. Om Purna Brahma Swarupindiyai Namaha. Om Sachidanandamurtaye Namaha. Om Atma Rama Agraganyai Namaha. Om Yogalinaandaratmane Namaha. Om Antarmukha Swabhavaye Namaha. Om Turyatungasthale Jushe Namaha. Om Prabhamandalavitaye Namaha. Om Durasadamahojase Namaha. Om Tektadik Vastu Kala Adi Sarvavachedharashaye Namaha. Om Sajadiya Vijadiya Swiya Bheda Nirakrite Namaha. Om Vani Buddhi Mrigyaye Namaha. Om Sashwada Vyaktavartane Namaha. Om Nama Rupa Adishunyaye Namaha. Om Shunya Kalpa Vibhutaye Namaha. Om Shadaishwariya Samudraye Namaha. Om Dhuri Krita Shadurmaye Namaha. Om Nitya Prabhuddha Samshuddha Nirmuktatma Prabhamuche Namaha. Om Karunya Kulachittaye Namaha. Om Tekta Yoga Sushuptaye Namaha. Om Kerlakshmavatirnaye Namaha. Om Manushya Stri Vabarbrade Namaha. Om Dharmishta Suganananda Damayendi Swayambhuve Namaha. Om Mata Pitra Chirachirna Punya Pura Phalatmane Namaha. Om Nishabda Jhanni Garbha Nirgamad Buddha Karmane Namaha. Om Kali Sri Krishna Sangasha Komala Shamala Tvishe Namaha. Om Chinat Nashta Punarlabdha Bhargava Kshetra Sampade Namaha. Om Ridupraya Brabhu Kshetra Punaruddhita Tejase Namaha. Om Saushilya Guna Drashta Jangamastavarale Namaha. Om Manushya Mrigapachyadi Sarva Sansevidangre Namaha. Om Naisargika Daya Tirtha Snana Klinandaratmane Namaha. Om Daridra Janada Hasta Samarpita Nijandase Namaha. Om Anyapatra Prabhuttana Purida Swiya Kukshaye Namaha. ओम संप्राप्त सर्वभूतात्म स्वात्मसत्तानुभूतये नमः। ओम अशिक्षित स्वयं स्वांत स्फुरत् कृष्ण विभूतये नमः। ओम अच्छिन्न मदरोदार कृष्ण लीलानुसंदये नमः। ओम नंदात्मज मुखालोक नित्योत्कंडित छेदसे नमः। ओम गोविंद विप्रयोगादिदावदग्धांतरात्मे नमः। ओम वियोग शोक समूर्छा मुहुर्परिदवर्ष्मणे नमः। ओम सारमेयादिवेद शुश्रूषालब्ध बुद्धये नमः। ओम प्रेम भक्ति बलाकृष्ट प्रादुर्भाव दशांगिन्यै नमः। ओम कृष्णालोक महाह्लादग्रस्त शोगांतरात्मने नमः। ओम कांची चंद्रगमंजीर वंशी शोभी स्वभूदृशे नमः। ओम सार्वत्र ऋषिकेश सानिध्य लहरी स्पृशे नमः। ओम सुस्मेरुदन मुखालोक विस्मेरोत्फुल्ल दृष्टये नमः। ओम तत्कांद्यमना स्पर्श रुष्ट रोमांगेष्टे नमः। ओम कृतीक्षित संप्राप्त देवी रूपोपलब्धये नमः। ओम पाणी पद्मसो दीनाशो मानाम्बिकादृशे नमः। ओम देवी सद्य स्थिरोधानता भगदित छेदसे नमः। ओम दीनरोधनिर्घोषदीर्णदिक्कर्णवर्त्मने नमः। ओम त्यक्तानपान निद्रादि सर्वदैहिक धर्मणे नमः। ओम पुरादि समानीत भक्षपोषित वर्ष्मणे नमः। ओम वीणा निश्चंदि संगीत लालित श्रुति नाले नमः। ओम अपार परमानंद लहरी मग्न छेदसे नमः। ओम चंडिका भीकराकार दर्शनालब्ध शर्मणे नमः। ओम शांतरूपामृतचरी पारणादुर्दात्मने नमः। ओम शारदा स्मारका शेष स्वभाव गुण संपदे नमः। ओम प्रतिबिंबित चांद्रे शारदो भयमूर्तये नमः। ओम तन्नाडगाभिनयन नित्यरंगैदात्मने नमः। ओम चांद्रेय शारदा केळि कल्लोलित सुधाब्दये नमः। ओम उत्तेजित भृगुक्षेत्र दैव चैतन्य रंहसे नमः। ओम भूय प्रत्यवरिद्वाश दिव्य संस्कार राशये नमः। ओम अप्रात्पदानंद कल्याण गुण सिंधवे नमः। ओम ऐश्वर्य वीर्य कीर्ति श्री ज्ञान वैराग्य वेश्मणे नमः। ओम उपात बाल गोपाल वेशभूषा विभूतये नमः। ओम स्मेर स्निग्ध कटाक्षाये नमः। ओम स्वैरादिशित वेदये नमः। ओम पिंचकुंडल मंजीर वंशिका किंकणी भृतये नमः। ओम भक्तलोकाखिलाभीष्ट पूर्ण प्रीणने छवे नमः। ओम पीठारूढ़ महादेवी भाव भास्वर मूर्तये नमः। ओम भूषणांबर वेश श्री दिव्यमानांगेष्टये नमः। ओम सुप्रसन्न मुखाम्बोजवराभयदपाणे नमः। ओम किरीट रत्नाकर्णपूर स्वर्णपड़ीभृते नमः। ओम जिह्वालिड महारोगी विबल सवृणिध्वजे नमः। ओम तक्रोधम सनिष्णाद गौरांगा परमूर्तये नमः। ओम स्तेय हिंसा सुरापानाद शेषा धर्म विद्विषे नमः। ओम त्याग वैराग्य मैत्रादि सर्वसद्वासनापुषे नमः। ओम पादाश्रित मनोरूढ़ संस्कार रहोमुषे नमः। ओम प्रेम भक्ति सुधा सिक्त साधु चित्त गुहाजुषे नमः। ओम सुधामणि महानाम्ने नमः। ओम सुभाषित सुधामुचे नमः। ओम अमृतानंदमयी आख्या जनगण पुरस्पृशे नमः। ओम द्रक्त दत्त विरक्ताये नमः। ओम नम्रार्पित बुभुक्षुवे नमः। ओम उत्सृष्ट भोगि संगाये नमः। ओम योगी संगरिरं सवे नमः। ओम अभिनंदित दानादि शुभ कर्माभिवृद्धये नमः। ओम अभिवंदित विशेष स्थिर जंगम सृष्टये नमः। ओम प्रोत्साहित ब्रह्म विद्या संप्रदाय प्रवर्तये नमः। ओम पुनरासादित श्रेष्ठ तपो विपिन्न वृत्तये नमः। ओम भूयो भुर्कुलावास शिष्णोत्सुत मेधसे नमः। ओम अनेक नैष्टिक ब्रह्मचारि निर्मात्र वेदसे नमः। ओम शिष्य संग्रामित स्वीय प्रोज्वल ब्रह्मवर्चसे नमः। ओम अंधेवासिनाशेष चेष्टापाद्य दृष्टये नमः। ओम मोहांधकार संचारी लोकानुग्रह रोजिषे नमः। ओम तमत्पृष्ट मनोवृष्ट स्वप्रकाश शुभाशिषे नमः। ओम भक्त शुद्धांतरंगस्थ भद्रदीप शिखातुषे नमः। ओम सप्रीति भक्त भक्तन्योर्पित स्नेह सर्पिषे नमः। ओम शिष्यवर्य सभा मध्य ध्यान योग विदित्सवे नमः। ओम सश्वल्लोक हिताचार मग्न देहेन्द्रियासवे नमः। ओम निज पुण्य प्रदानान्य पापादान जिगीर्षवे नमः। ओम परस्वर्यापन स्वीय नर्ग प्राप्ति निप्सवे नमः। ओम रथोत्सवच्चल कन्याकुमारी मर्त्यमूर्तये नमः। ओम विमोहार्णव निर्भग्न भृगुक्षेत्रो जिहीर्षवे नमः। ओम पुनः संदानि तद्वैपायन सत्कुलतन्दवे नमः। ओम वेदशास्त्र पुराण इतिहास शाश्वत बंधवे नमः। ओम भृगुक्षेत्र सम्मुनिलत प्रदैवत तेजसे नमः। ओम देव्यै नमः। ओम प्रेमामृतानंदमय्यै नित्यं नमो नमः। ओम प्रेमामृतानंदमय्यै नित्यं नमो नमः। ओम प्रेमामृतानंदमय्यै नित्यं नमो नमः। ओम अमृतेश्वर्यै नमः। Om Amriteshwariyai Namaha. Om Amriteshwariyai Namaha. Let us meditate for a few minutes before we get into the talk. Sit with your spine straight. Close your eyes. Be focused deep within yourselves. Attune yourselves to the inner silence, to the inner stillness. Let go all the stress, all the anxiety of the body and the mind, and be totally relaxed physically and mentally. Be present here in this very moment. As you get more and more centered within, all the wanderings of the mind slowly begin to subside. Experience the inner realm, becoming calm and serene like a rippleless lake. Let us now together chant the sacred syllable, the Pranava mantra, Om, 3 times. As you chant Om, feel the sound arising from deep within you. Take a deep breath. Feel the reverberations of the syllable Om spreading to each and every cell of the body. Slowly focus your attention on your breathing. Breathe in a normal, relaxed way. Be aware as you breathe. Be aware of every inhalation and every exhalation. Just watch each and every breath of yours. Now, as you breathe in, feel the vibrations of the sound Ma with the inhaled air. And as you breathe out, feel the vibrations of the sound Om with the exhaled air. Breathe in Ma and breathe out Om. Ma represents divine love. Om is divine light. Synchronize each breath of yours. Every inhalation with the vibrations of Ma, and every exhalation with the vibrations of Om. Let the flow of these sounds be continuous in your breathing. Breathe in Ma and breathe out Om. Slowly feel the sounds ma and do fading away from your breath, taking you into a state of deep inner peace and silence. Feel your heart blossoming and getting filled with love and compassion. Feel this love and compassion overflowing from within towards the whole of creation. Let us conclude this meditation by chanting the mantra Om Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu 9 times. The meaning of this mantra is, may all beings in creation be peaceful and happy. As we chant this mantra, let us imagine this love and compassion reaching out to everybody in this creation. Om Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. 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 Om 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 Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Dear sisters and brothers, this meditation that we just did, this is something that you can practice every day. And also, Amma has been stressing the importance of the practice of the white flower peace meditation for world peace and harmony. In fact, I'm sure many of you have heard Amma say this in her talks many years back, that she sees some things, some unfortunate occurrences happening in the year 2020, and how it would be like a warlike situation in the world, which would affect many spheres of human life. And today, when we hear the heads of nations speak, many of them have been talking about the same, calling the current situation as being a war with an invisible enemy. So let us do our best in a collective way to deal with this pandemic, in an individual way as well, in ways of isolating ourselves, testing, etc., and internally being optimistic, courageous, and prayerful, and not allowing fear to be the ruling emotion. The topic that I would like to focus today is "This too shall pass away." Just a month before, when we were all caught up in our own worlds, nobody ever thought that we would be in such a position that we would be locked up in our homes. And even lying on the bed and watching TV would be considered as an act in which you are contributing towards saving the world. The same people who might have scolded you for coming to office late are now requesting you to kindly stay at home and work from there. Amma always says, life can give us so many surprise tests. And this surely is one common surprise test that the whole world is facing. There's a very beautiful quote which says, life is a unique teacher. It always gives the exams first and the lessons later. It's totally opposite to the way that our schools and universities work, where the lessons come first and then the exams. Now, what are the lessons that this pandemic is giving us? I would like to share some of my thoughts on it. And after each lesson, I will also suggest some ways to practically implement them in the times that we are passing through. The first lesson that I feel that the current situation is conveying to us is never take things for granted. Appreciate what you have before it turns into what you had. Today, as we are advised to be in isolation, even going for a walk has become a luxury in many countries. Did we ever see the opportunities that we had before of walking in nature, of spending time with friends outside? Did we ever see all this as a gift? Did we ever say thank you to God for all the gifts that we have been receiving? Rarely have we done so. We normally take so many things for granted, especially regarding our health, the environment, or the person or the persons in our life. And when they are not the same anymore, that's when we start realizing their importance. Or when they are not in our lives anymore, we really start understanding how valuable they were. Amma gives a beautiful example. She says, we never realize the importance of our teeth when they are there. But if one tooth falls out, our tongue will keep going to the gap left by it again and again. Let me share a joke to make things a little light. Because with our health, things change so fast. 3 old men, they were sitting around a dining table. And one man said, "You know, I'm a little afraid because my memory is getting really weak. This morning, I was standing at the top of the stairs and I couldn't remember whether I had just come up or was I about to go down." The second man said, "Well, you think that's bad? Listen to my condition. Today I was sitting on the edge of my bed and I couldn't remember whether I was going to bed or I had just woken up." The third man smiled and said, "Well, my memory has no such problems. Touch wood. It has been fine now." And then what did he do? He tapped the table, the wooden table, 3 times. Suddenly, with a startled look on his face, he looked around and said, "Who is knocking?" This is the thing. We never know when things change. We sometimes realize the value of a moment only when it has become a memory. So this current situation is in fact telling us to live more consciously, to live more mindfully in the present. When we take time to really notice what is going on in the moment, distancing ourselves from dwelling in the past or thinking about the future, then we recognize and appreciate the big and the small things that surround us right now, things that are happening in our life. But somehow, in the fast pace of life, we really forgot to enjoy the beauty of every moment. We fail to express love to our near and dear ones, give them our time and attention. But all this weighs heavily on our minds at some stage. And later we realize how many beautiful opportunities did we lose. So we have the time now to really use every moment in the best way possible, not taking anything granted. Amma tells an interesting story. There was once a boy who used to go for walks with his grandfather to a nearby forest. Sometimes they would go at sunrise and sometimes in the evening during sunset. And one day, as they were walking, this boy, he found a coin in a heap of dry leaves. He was very excited. He took the coin and put it in his pocket. From that day onwards, this boy would walk a little behind the grandfather, and his eyes would be fixed on the ground, seeing if there are any more coins that he could find. Using his leg, he would go through the leaves, and sometimes he would find coins. So he would take them, put it in his pocket. He carefully saved all these coins. The boy grew up, he became a youngster. One day he excitedly went to the grandfather and he showed him a collection of these coins. He had put them in a bottle. And he said, "You know, Grandpa, I got all these coins when I used to come for the walk with you. I used to go through the leaves with my feet, and that's how I discovered them." The old man, he compassionately smiled at the grandson and he said, "Grandson, do you realize one thing? While you look down searching for these coins, how many sunrises and sunsets did you miss? You never noticed the rainbows in the sky that would sometimes be greeting us. You did not see the beautiful flowers around. You did not enjoy their fragrance. You did not hear the song of the birds. My child, can those lost opportunities be ever gained or recaptured?" This is what happens. Many a times we lose very valuable opportunities because we are not able to live in the moment. We take things very lightly, we take things for granted. When somebody passes away, at the funeral, we hear the near and dear ones giving speeches. Sometimes they speak so beautifully about the one who has passed away. But I always feel, had they spoken those same words to the person when he or she was around, it would have made them so happy. I'm sure many are doing it. There are some who don't. So let us try to make use of every moment in hand. Let us try to live it with love and with a sense of gratitude. This is one of the first lessons that I feel this pandemic is teaching us. Let us not take things lightly. Let us give everything the right place. Now, I'd like to give you a practical takeaway of this lesson. Let us not postpone the important things for the future. We always have this habit of saying that, I would love to meditate, I would love to do spiritual practices, but I will do it later. I will do it in the future. Many think of spiritual practices as a post-retirement activity, but it is so foolish to do so, because life is so fragile and we don't know what the next moment has in store for us. So let us make the best use of the present moment in hand. Let us also reflect on our lives in the time that we have. Count all the blessings that we have received in life that God has showered upon us. And let us grow in gratitude towards everything, towards people, towards the divine, towards nature. The time that we are now locked up with our near and dear ones, let us use that time to make the bonds more stronger. As many a times when we are so caught up in work, we do neglect them quite a lot. This is a good opportunity to be close to them, to listen to them, and really make that bond much more stronger. Let us bring in awareness of every moment that we have in hand, and let us live them to the best of our ability. There may be people who complain about being isolated in a room, not being able to go out. But let's remember that there are so many other things that we have in hand that we can do. Listening to music is not cancelled. Quality time with family is not cancelled. Reading a book is not cancelled. Singing out loud is not cancelled. Laughing is not cancelled. Sharing hope is not cancelled. Let us embrace what we have. Let us make the best use of it. Coming to the second lesson that I feel this pandemic is really conveying to us, it is seek the eternal. Focus on the eternal. The crisis that we are facing today is pointing out this important truth to us, that impermanence is the nature of everything in the world. The only thing that is a guarantee in today's world is the lack of guarantee in everything that we find in the world. With this crisis, in a span of few weeks, so many changes have come to the lives of people. We have seen changes in the external world, in individual lives. Stock markets have tumbled. So many sectors of employment affected. Travel plans have changed. Our daily schedules have changed. Impermanence has always been the nature of the world. But such situations make this truth more visible to us. We have to reflect on it, and we have to develop the bond with the eternal, with the changeless. It's a very common question that people ask Amma. How do we deal with this changing world? How do we find happiness or security in this changing world? Amma always says it is by focusing on the changeless, focusing on the eternal. If we try to find true happiness, true security from the world, in Amma's words, it would be like trying to dance on a stage that is shaking all the time. A dancer will never be comfortable, will never feel secure. So we need to have this ability to develop the focus and intensity to seek the eternal, to experience the changeless. If we can do that, if we can keep the focus on our true self or on God who is within each and every being, then whatever be the changes that are happening in your life around you, you will not be affected internally by any of these things. The inner peace, the inner serenity will always be there with you. It can be done in two ways. This seeking the eternal can be done in two ways. By developing a witness attitude towards life, towards your mind, and is also possible through the attitude of surrender towards the divine. There is a very beautiful Upanishad, a treatise of Advaita Vedanta called the Mundaka Upanishad. In that, the sage gives a very beautiful example of how we should function in the world, being a witness to everything, being focused on the eternal. He gives the example of a tree with a bird sitting on the lower branch, which is tasting the fruits, which is singing a song, which is communicating around, moving around in the branch. And then there is a bird on the upper branch. And this bird is just observing the one sitting below. This bird is completely calm, completely still, completely in peace, and just observing the bird below. At present, our condition is like the bird on the lower branch. All the time we are moving around, we are restless. We want to do this thing, and then we immediately jump into some other activity without even completing it. We are so stressed about things. We are so focused about attaining things, and we are sad and depressed when we are not able to achieve it. This is our life. So many ups and downs. But at the same time, if we can develop the capacity of the bird on the higher branch, which is just watching the lower bird sitting. If we can develop this capacity to watch everything that is happening in our lives, watch our minds, then be sure that you will be in peace and happiness all the time. Nothing externally will affect you. And this is what we see in Amma all the time. She is with us in our sufferings. She becomes one with it when she hears to the sufferings of people. You may even see tears rolling down her eyes. And yet, the next moment, she is able to advise us on the right path of action to be taken. The reason is because she is able to see things clearly from a distance without getting affected internally. If we can develop this capacity in life, we will be peaceful in every situation. It doesn't make us lose our efficiency in action. We will be efficient in action, and at the same time, very peaceful inside, not really stuck with the fruits of our action. Amma also says that this inner serenity, it can be developed through love and surrender to the divine. When we see ourselves as instruments in the hands of divine, then we never get attached to anything in a wrong way. The attachment stays to God alone. We see ourselves as a caretaker of the divine in every action that we perform, in the responsibilities that we have to do in the world. I remember an incident. There was a devastating earthquake that happened in the state of Gujarat in the year 2001. And after that, Amma had adopted 3 big villages in the Bhuj province of Gujarat. And Amma visited these areas, and she visited houses of people who were greatly affected by this massive disaster. And I remember she was in a house, she went to visit a house, but there was an old man sitting in front of the house. Half the house was raised to the ground. This person had lost some family members in the tragedy. He had a few shops nearby. All those shops were razed to the ground. Amma sat near him and Amma asked him, "My son, how are you coping up with the situation?" His answer was very beautiful. He said in a calm tone, "Amma, all that I lost, it belonged to God in the first place. He has now decided to take it back. He has all the right to do that." There was such a calmness in this person who, in the empirical sense, had lost everything. But as Amma then said to all of us who were with her at that moment, she said, "He has lost everything externally, but he did not lose his real wealth, which is the inner strength that he has, the inner calmness that he has, which he has developed through his relationship with the divine." So, dear sisters and brothers, it is possible for us to seek the eternal, to be focused on the eternal, focused on the self or God within, either by taking these 2 paths, through the path of love and surrender to the divine, and also through the path of witnessing, where you get closer and closer. I would like to give a practical takeaway from this lesson that this pandemic is teaching us. I heard so many people complain to Amma that, "Amma, I have no time for spiritual practices. I'm so busy in my day-to-day life." We cannot come to her with this complaint anymore, because these few weeks, these few months, we really have the time in hand. Let us try to develop a spiritual discipline, and let us try to stick to it as much as possible. It can include chanting, it can include meditation, it can be yoga, reading spiritual books, reflection on the scriptures, it can be vows of silence that you take. All these practices are going to help you grow stronger and stronger within. And you will see that no external situations, they disturb you that easily. If we can develop this regularity in practice, this discipline in practice, that would be such a great thing that we are gaining through this crisis that we are going through. Something that will make us so strong with it, so focused with it. And whatever be the situations outside, we will be able to keep ourselves strong. The third lesson that I feel this pandemic is conveying to us is that we are all interconnected beings and we are not isolated islands. When this pandemic started in China, many of us thought, oh, it's their problem. Many of us prayed for them as well, that way that problem gets solved. But now that problem has spread. It has become the problem of the whole world. Not all of us will be infected by this virus, but all of us have been affected by this virus. When we hear the news reports, when we see images on the internet or on the TV, it is affecting us somewhere. A virus does not respect any boundaries of country, language, color, nationality. In fact, we have had such experiences before. I'm sure many of you remember in the year 2011, I think it was 2011, due to a volcanic eruption in Iceland, the movement of people all around the world came to a standstill. There were no flights for many, many days. Something that happened in a remote part of the world affected all the countries. It really shows that we are all interconnected. So we cannot really say that the problem that somebody else is facing is their problem, let them deal with it. We may have to give them a helping hand when we have the means to do so, when we have the capacity to do so. Because if we don't do that, if we neglect that aspect, then their problem can soon become our problem as well. So let us not turn a blind eye towards the problems of others. And let us be proactive in reaching out to them. Let us practice compassion in our actions. It's a great opportunity to really grow in compassion. There's a very beautiful quote that Amma says. It's from her. She says, our heart is like a parachute. It is very dangerous if it does not open. Let us open our hearts, let this compassion flow towards all those who are suffering. In Sanskrit, the word of compassion is karuna, which is very close to this name of the virus, which is corona. So let us drive away the corona and let us spread karuna. That is, let us spread compassion with it. Now, what is the practical takeaway from it? We all know how scared people are, how uptight they are about the condition in the moment, especially the older people who have some pre-existing health conditions. They feel so vulnerable in today's times. We really need to be there for them. If you have such a friend or family member who is alone, who feels isolated and fearful, try to reach out to them, call them, talk to them as often as possible. Nowadays, we have the video chats, which is helping us communicate to so many people around the world. They are able to use that feature in their gadget. They'll be so happy to see you and talk to you. So let us try to do that. I'm sure all of you have been watching such acts of compassion in the internet. And it is so inspiring to see the ways people are trying to reach out to their neighbors, to reach out to their near and dear ones. Of course, physically, we are not supposed to mingle with anybody, but there are still ways that can be used to reach out to people around. Also, I would say this is an opportunity for all of us to practice forgiveness. There may be friends or family members with whom we do not get along that well, with whom we haven't spoken for years together. It is a good opportunity for us to call them or send them a message asking them how they are doing, asking about their health, asking how they are feeling mentally. It could mean a lot to them if we are able to do that. It could also mend certain broken bridges. Also, it is so helpful for us because it clears the canvas of our mind from regrets and grudges that we might have stored with it towards some people. So I feel let us also use this opportunity that we have in hand as a way to practice forgiveness. It can help us quite a lot. Dear sisters and brothers, as we face these challenges in this moment, Amma is there with us, holding our hands as we move forward. Let us kindle the faith within and not allow fear and anxiety rule over us. Otherwise, we'll be facing 3 pandemics. That is, let us not allow fear and anxiety to become pandemics as well, because they can spread so easily. Let us do our part well. Amma will take care of the rest. I remember many years back, Amma was going for a program, and those days we didn't have the bridge here in Amritapuri. So Amma would go by boat across the backwaters before she would get into the vehicle. And everybody wanted to go in the same boat as Amma. So the boat had a capacity, but people would still try to get in. And once what she did was, when she saw that the people in the boat exceeded the capacity, she gave instructions that everybody should sit where they are, nobody should move. She looked at the weight balance of the boat. And she said, if you move, it can be a disaster. So somebody said to Amma, Amma, when you are there in the boat, we don't need to fear. You will take care of everything. Amma said, Amma is there to take care, but you have to do your part. That is to sit still and not move too much. In one way, we are all forced to do that in this situation. Sit still and not do too much of going out or getting involved in too many external activities. But we can surely use this time for taking up the inner journey, for making this inner travel elaborate and as beautiful as possible. Also, I have a sincere request from my behalf to all those who are listening to this webcast, that let us not believe all the messages that come to our WhatsApp or Facebook. I'm sure all your WhatsApp accounts and Facebook accounts are flooded with messages. Let us try to get information from the authentic sources, because all this wrong information sometimes spreads so much panic. Also, let us not all the time be hearing to the news. You don't need to do that. You can do it once in a few hours, but you don't need to have it all the time off. Because through this, we are feeding the emotions of fear and anxiety quite a lot. Let us instead of doing this, of spreading any forward that we get about the situation in the world, instead of forwarding such things, let us forward articles where people have been doing beautiful things in these trying times. Acts of love, compassion that they have been showing, that individuals and organizations have been doing. Spreading this around will, in fact, spread a lot of hope and cheer for people. So let us try to do that. And in fact, we all can do. We can try our best to spread things that will really awaken positive emotions in people and not fear and anxiety. Because we know, even physiologically, fear can create stress. Stress creates inflammation. Inflammation creates a compromised immune system, and it makes us more susceptible, in fact, to all kinds of influences. Makes our physical body weak as well. So in times when we are trying to strengthen our immune system, I feel giving love, hope, and compassion the right place is a great way to boost it. Externally, we may be taking supplements, vitamins to do that, but internally, let us try to feed ourselves with love, with hope, and compassion. We hear this term isolation quite a lot nowadays. Let us isolate the virus of fear as well. And let's try to stay in the solution. And let's not try to stay in the problem all the time. Let us try to stay in the solution. The world has faced such challenges in the past as well. There have been famines, diseases like cholera and smallpox. We all know about the Spanish flu in the early 19th century that killed so many people. In recent times, we had the SARS, we had swine flu, we had Ebola, we had H1N1. But finally, human beings will win over it. All such situations, they bring out the resilience of the human spirit, which will surely prevail. And I'm sure with Amma's grace, this too shall pass away. Let us be firm in this conviction that this is just a passing phase. So just like the gray clouds that we see in the sky that don't stay forever, it's going to be gone hopefully very, very soon. I would love to share a few lines from Albert Camus, which is something that is very much what we need in the present situation, something that we need to tap into. He says, in the midst of fear, I found within me an invincible love. In the midst of tears, I found there was within me an invincible smile. In the midst of chaos, I found within me an invincible calm. In the midst of winter, I found within me a very cozy summer. No matter how hard the world pushes against me, within me there is something stronger, something better pushing right back. We all have this within us. We have the strength within. We all have God within us. We just need to tap into the strength. And you'll see that, just as the poet says, we have the power to push everything back. So, dear sisters and brothers, be healthy, be safe, and may Amma's grace protect us all. May the world be able to tide over this crisis in the fastest time possible. Also, before I end, it's the first time that I've been interacting with Amma's children from different parts of the world after being initiated into sannyasa by our most beloved Amma. It's nothing but her grace and her compassion alone that she felt me fit enough to receive sannyasa. But let me use this opportunity to seek all your prayers. Seek all your prayers for me that I remain steadfast on this path and remain an effective instrument in Amma's hands till the last breath of my life. Om Amriteshwariyai Namaha. Just going to check some of the questions that have come. As I mentioned earlier, I may not be able to take everything, but I would like to just take at least a few of the questions that have come. The question is, does Amma have any advice for the nurses and other healthcare workers in the current situation? True, it is really a challenging situation for them where they have to be there, in hospitals or in areas where there are people affected by the virus. They cannot say no to it because their duty demands them to do that. Amma says because they should be trying their best to take the necessary precautions and to not forget whenever possible to to eat properly whenever possible. I know the time for taking rest is very little, but whenever they get time, they should do that. And at the same time, Amma says they have to keep up that spirit within, the spirit of compassion, the spirit of seva within, and see this as an opportunity that God has given to really do something that can save human lives, that can save people from the brink of death, and that can save families from being orphaned. Always says that not everybody gets the opportunity to serve. It's only very few people who get the opportunity to do that. It is one way a great blessing that many of us have of being in service to others. And as a nurse, I know it's a really challenging thing that you have, because you have to surely take care of yourself because you also have a family. But at the same time, you have this great opportunity of contributing something to society in such times. And in fact, I always feel the nurses, the community workers, the doctors, the lab assistants, and such people who are actively involved in areas of service, they are the real unsung heroes. They have to be applauded, they have to be respected, and we all have the responsibility to pray for their health, for their strength. To them, I would say, take care of yourself as much as possible, take all the necessary precautions, and keep the spirit inside. I'm sure there is the divine grace protecting you and taking you through it. We had a beautiful thing that we celebrated today all over India. I'm sure many countries are doing it on a daily basis. Every person today was a complete lockdown in the country from morning 7 till night 9. Nobody was supposed to come out of the rooms. And the Prime Minister of India, he requested everybody to come out at 5 p.m. to their balconies or to their windows and clap for all these unsung heroes who have been contributing so much in these times of crisis. So it was a great moment here when everybody in the ashram who were in their rooms, they all came to the balcony and were, in fact, using drums, were using the ganjira, they were using the bell, the ringing the bell that we use for puja, using the vessels, clapping the vessels, and it was a beautiful thing. And this has happened all over the country. So they, in fact, they deserve all this respect because they are the ones who are dealing with it 24/7. And our prayers should always be there for them. Coming to the question of how can we speak to other people who are afraid if they are not Amma devotees or if they don't believe in God? How can we really comfort them? That is, how can we give such people strength who have no faith in God and who really need some help in these moments? True, it is not that easy. When you have a higher faith, that is something that gives you a strong support, and it can really give you the needed strength to gear up internally to face this. But with people who have no such faith, I think without mentioning God, because they may not have a belief in any external, in an external God that they may call so. We know that God is, our true nature. They may not have any such belief. I really feel that to them we can always give them the hope that they have the strength within them to really gear up. Maybe they have had incidents in their life where they have faced very difficult situations and have come out of it, or have done good things after those experiences, to remind them of them, that you did show your strength in so many situations during your life. And this is also something where you can really rise up. Don't lose your inner strength. Don't lose that courage within. You have done it before, and that quality is there in you. So you just need to awaken it again and try your best. And also give them the feeling, the support that you are there for them, and you'll always be supporting them in this time of crisis. I think these things can give them a lot of support, a feeling that they are not alone, and they have people who care for them, who love them, around them, and giving support to them in a, at least in a mental or emotional way. Coming to the next question. Any advice for people who are actually infected with the virus? What they can do to keep calm and not lose hope, finding help from inside themselves. True. When you have people who are already affected by this virus, we have to again sometimes use the same way, saying that they are going to come out of it, and that they should not be giving up that easily. They have the strength in them, and this is not something that they should give up. This is not a situation where they should give up mentally, because if you lose the mental strength, then the battle is over. But if you can keep that mental strength inside, and have the firm conviction that this too shall pass away, and I am going to give my best, be optimistic, that has a very big effect on the healing process as well. We know that we are all psychosomatic beings. The mind and the body are connected to one another. The more strength, the more positivity we have in the mind can really make us more strong physically as well. It can bring changes to the physical body as well. So I would advise you to tell such people that they should not be losing their inner strength. If they are believers in God, of course, to tell them to hold on to God's feet firmly, or if they have a master, to the master's feet firmly, and never give up. Keep up that inner conviction that this is going to pass away, and never give up that mental strength. And also give them the same assurance that we are all with them. There are so many people praying for them. They are never alone. And all this is going to help us tide over this crisis, and never let go the mental strength. So something that you can surely tell them. Our prayers for them, I think all this help quite a lot. Because as Amma says, a true prayer is something that is like a letter posted with the right address on it. Surely has to reach the addressee. So when this selfless prayer comes from our hearts for people suffering, sure it is reaching them. And if they are receptive to it, it can also give them a lot of peace, a lot of strength. So let us try to make it as clear as possible for them that they are not alone, that we are all there for them, and they have the strength to overcome this health crisis that they are in. And as I said in my talk, let us try our best, to advise them not to give fear and anxiety the prominent place inside. I know it's not easy because these things do creep in, but our support may sometimes help them to think properly and think more positively. I also have a message from a pharmacist coming to my phone saying that, Swamiji, you mentioned doctors, nurses, community workers, lab attendants, but you did not mention the people who are working in the pharmacy, the pharmacist. So I'm very sorry that I missed that. The pharmacists are also very much included in this, and they are also the unsung heroes who really need a lot of applause and a lot of appreciation from our part. What about people who are trying to stress us and make us more fearful in such conditions? We try to give them solace, but they try to make us fearful or make us stressed. Well, I would say don't spend too much time with them. Do your part of giving them the support and the solace, and try to disconnect your phone, or switch off your phone after that, and don't keep talking to them, because it's true, because their comments and their talk can sometimes influence our minds as well. It's very easy for our minds to also be pulled down. So I would suggest don't spend too much time with them. Do your part and move away from them, or get going, and don't just get stuck to them. Don't allow the wrong things to find a place inside you. Amma always says this in her talks. She says that our problem is we allow any kind of thought or any kind of comment to find a parking space inside our minds. In our apartments, in our offices, there are fixed parking spaces for the residents, for the people who work. But we don't allow any other car to come and park their vehicles, so any person to come and park their vehicles there. But with our mind, we allow any thought to come in and stay there as long as they want. Let us not allow that to happen. Let us be very clear about it, that I'm not allowing unnecessary thoughts to find a place inside me. I'm going to be very discriminate about it and only allow the right ones to settle inside. Sisters and brothers, I think there are a lot of questions coming in, but I'm sure you have so many things to attend to as well. It's been a great joy for me to share this hour with all of you. For more than an hour, we have been here together, nearly 1.5 hours. It's been a great joy sharing this time with you, and praying once again for your good health, for you to be cheerful and strong, and maybe together be able to tide over this crisis that the world is passing. And let us keep repeating, this too shall pass away with Amma's divine grace. Om Amriteshwaryaye Namaha. Before we conclude, may we once again chant the mantra Om Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu 9 times, praying for the peace of all the departed souls, and also for all those who have lost their near and dear ones, to gain the strength to face these situations, to face the irreparable loss that they have suffered. Let us chant this mantra 9 times and pray that this peace within us is reaching out to them as well. Om Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. 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 लोका समस्ता सुखिनो भवन्तु। लोका समस्ता सुखिनो भवन्तु। लोका समस्ता सुखिनो भवन्तु। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ॐ। Namaste.